Okinawa Island is surrounded by rich culture. Issa dance is a centuries-long traditional dance that has been passed on to young people. It is characterized by singing, chanting and drumming to the accompaniment of the dancers and folk songs. One of the 47 prefectures that make up Japan is located southwest of the mainland, with a total population of over 1 million, and that is Okinawa. This island is also blessed by a nature of spectacular beauty, fun, and entertainment. Young people in Okinawa find the beach as a wonderful place for entertainment and relaxation. In 1945, the peaceful beach was once a site of the severe battle in which the American Navy forces invaded Okinawa. This bloody and heaviest battle to capture the island has been referred to as the Typhoon of Steel and claimed over 200,000 lives. Among the victims, over 100,000 were Okinawa people. "67 years later, young children are constantly taught about peace. Akira Miyagi is an illustrator who uses picture books to educate children about the Battle of Okinawa in an effort to promote peace."
Things and information are overfull, but the young may feel a sense of emptiness and live in the world where they cannot tell dreams and hopes. That is the case the young have faced. I think it is good for them to express themselves through things, expressions, thoughts, and some creative works. Not from the scratch, but choose some from many which already exist and fit you. In order to do it, they should know the past. They should know their roots. It is very important. We Okinawans recognize the Battle of Okinawa has not ended until today, even though it took place in the past. It is the common understanding among Okinawans. Therefore, I hope young people will share the understanding and work harder through their creative works.
Okinawa is now pleasant, busy, attractive city to live in, and most young people are now enjoying their lives. In Okinawa, every school has peace education program. Inspired by the loss of her grandparents in a forced suicide during the Battle of Okinawa, Chie Miyagi, a teacher at Mawashi Senior High School, also wrote a picture book entitled Letter from Okinawa. She believes messages in her book are important in teaching children about war effects as they make peace for a better future.
I told about what happened to my mother through this picture book, and I let them examine and see what happened to Okinawa. And also, after that, after they listen to my mother's story, I want them to listen to their grandparents or other elderly people, survivors. And I want each of them to remember and pass on. In the history, we have tried to become friends all over the world. We hate bases and we hate weapons, we hate war. But right now in Okinawa, we have big bases. 75% of Japanese bases concentrated in Okinawa, and still history is moving on, and it's kind of legacy of the battle, the World War II, and we must create peace. So I want to tell the young generation, you must learn from the past and please watch the current situation and we must create the history. What we have to do, we must think and we must help each other and we must communicate. Neighbors, communication is very important.
There are many American bases in Okinawa. Some American bases are situated near residential areas, and many people are now worried about aircraft accidents. The Okinawa Peace Memorial Museum, located in the south, is used to teach the future generation about the bitterness of war. The bloodiest and most combat was fought here. Parents visit this museum along with their children to enable them learn from the past experience as they build a bright future. Children are explained about the history of war and taken around memorial sites like these cliffs where people used to commit suicide rather than being captured alive by the American forces. Heavy weapons like bomb shells used to destroy Okinawa are shown to children to experience reality during the Second World War.
I participated in this tour program because I had homework to search about the Battle of Okinawa, and I feel I had a good time as I learned more than I had thought, more about how cruel the War of Okinawa was.
My uncle died in the Battle of Okinawa, and now his name is inscribed in the cornerstone of peace. I had wanted to pass down the misery of the war to my daughter, but it was not easy. So I expected her to learn many through the tour program. I also hope her to realize and remember that the peace we have today owes a lot to those war victims.
Humeiri Peace Memorial Center was put up in memory of female students who were forced to join the army as nursing personnel during the Battle of Okinawa. Over 200 female students were killed. One of the 13 survivors, Tomiko Uohera, aged 84, a former Humeiri student, explains the worst experience she went through in her lectures with the young students and passes on the message of peace to the whole world.
We hadn't expected the war became such a horror. Through our own experience, we learned the pain of people at the battlefield and the dreadfulness of the war. We want people to know the horror of the war. Please learn about the war. As I talk to the children today, it was human who entered the war, so it will be human too not to cause a war. They all wanted to live, and the last word they uttered were, "Mother." My friends and the soldiers called their mothers. It is the war in which people could not live, even though they had wanted to live. It was that battlefield where we couldn't rescue, even though we had wished to do. Therefore, in order not to make it happen again, we should learn the war from many angles. In this hope, for the people who passed away during the war, I have given my testimony and have told the whole truth here.
The sky was sparkling ocean blue, white clouds danced heavily on the dawn, the island in the deepest green. The crystal blue sea was smiling too. Peace was with island sharing happiness. Tender homes were torn away by blood of rain. Why did you throw your life in the suicide? Grandma, I don't know your gentle voice is cold. My fingertips found you where silence stands. On the white of peace, everything was still. The island knows what it is to kill the one to read.